In warfare, there are no constant conditions. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent will succeed and win. Anyway, I started blasting. The assault role's main job is to lead the charge on assaulting enemy positions and to clear out as many enemies as possible in the process. Well equipped for short to medium range engagements, assault players make for great point men and should be one of the first to storm buildings, bunkers, and trenches. The standard issue loadout for the US includes the M1A1 Thompson. The German standard issue loadout includes the Gewehr 43, and the Soviet loadout includes the stick magazine variant of the PPSH 41. Each of these loadouts also includes 2 frag grenades, 2 smoke grenades, a hammer, 2 bandages, and a knife or a shovel. The American and German level 3 assault loadouts are identical to the standard issue loadouts, but they swap out the primary weapons for the M97 trench gun and the MP40 respectively. The Soviet level 3 loadout includes the drum magazine variant of the PPSH 41, but loses the smoke grenades and only includes 1 frag grenade. I'm not really sure why the developers chose to take away the smoke grenades and one of the frag grenades for the Soviet level 3 loadout, especially considering that there are no level 6 or level 9 loadouts for the Soviets, but that's just the way it is currently. The US and Germans both have a level 6 and level 9 loadout, which is an absolute grind to unlock, but I will be sharing some tricks you can use to level up quicker later on in this video, so make sure you stick around until the end for that. The level 6 loadouts give you back the M1A1 Thompson and MP40 respectively, as well as 6 frag grenades, 4 smoke grenades, a hammer, 2 bandages, and a knife or a shovel. And the level 9 loadouts include the M3 grease gun for the US and the STG-44 for the Germans, as well as 1 frag grenade, 2 smoke grenades, a satchel charge, 2 bandages, and a knife or a shovel. The standard issue loadouts are pretty well balanced kits overall. For the US and Soviets, the use of an SMG as the primary weapon makes this loadout best for short to medium range engagements, while the German G43 is more than capable of taking out targets at long range, but is still a pretty capable beast at medium and even close range due to it being a semi-automatic with great stopping power. I personally feel the level 3 loadouts for assault are actually a step backwards from the standard issue. In my opinion, the Thompson and G43 are more versatile weapons than the M97 trench gun and the MP40. And I love the MP40, but the G43 is one of the best weapons in the game overall. And while the trench gun is pretty awesome in close quarters combat, so is the Thompson. And once you get into medium range, the Thompson is a better choice than the trench gun.
Good shit.
The level 6 loadout, however, is where this class really shines, and it's arguably one of the very best in the whole game. With 6 frag grenades and 4 smoke grenades, you'll be well equipped to fully live up to the assault title. Speaking of being well equipped, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, news, and gameplay videos for Hell Let Loose. And hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on future uploads. But back to the assault role. Just because you're the tip of the spear when on the attack doesn't mean you need to be a one-man army. Like any other role in Hell Let Loose, you should be communicating with your squad mates. Be decisive and speak confidently so that your teammates want to follow you into the fire. Use pings and make callouts to your teammates and encourage them to do the same. Make sure you check your map frequently as well. This will help you navigate the terrain more efficiently while also giving you better awareness of where your teammates are, or perhaps more importantly, knowing where your teammates aren't. If you're moving into an area and there's no friendlies on the map, then you know you can kill anything that moves on sight. You'll also benefit from seeing the various markers your team's commander and various squad leaders have placed on the map. And if one of your outposts or garrison lights up red, then you know there's enemies nearby and that one of your spawns are in danger of being destroyed. You should also keep a close eye on your HUD to maintain situational awareness. This is especially vital in warfare mode where your team has to balance attacking the enemy sector while defending their own. If you've seen my Understanding Warfare versus Offensive Mode video, then you'll understand that whichever team starts capturing the other team's strong point first will win the capture race, since the capture rate is always constant, so it doesn't make sense to continue to push the enemy strongpoint when you're about to lose your own. Even though you're a killing machine, kills don't win games, map control does. So make sure you're paying attention to how the overall battle is unfolding and always play to the objectives. Now if you're pushing into a well-defended area, use your smoke grenades to provide concealment for your squad as you advance. Make sure you throw them as close to the enemy as possible in order to block their vision and not your own. Let your teammates know you're popping smoke, and to let the smoke screen build before pushing forward. Once you have the concealment you need from the smoke, tell your teammates when you're ready to move and encourage them to come with you. It's also a good idea to let them know that you're throwing frag grenades, especially when you're pushing in on the enemy, to avoid accidentally fragging your own teammates. You can cook your grenade by holding the left mouse button or R2 for a couple of seconds before releasing it. Sometimes you can even take out an outpost, so don't be skittish about throwing grenades. You can also toss grenades underhand by right-clicking on PC or pressing L2 on consoles. This can be handy for tossing a grenade over a wall or down a staircase or in the window of a ground-level bunker. Just be prepared to haul ass in case you botch the throw.
Oh shit, oh god.
One of the best payoffs of grinding to unlock all the assault loadouts is that you can switch to whatever loadout best suits the situation. About to deploy on an airhead? Grab that level 6 loadout for all the smokes and grenades. Enemy tank wrecking your team? Switch to the level 9 loadout and slap a satchel on that bitch. Oh, and don't forget to give the obligatory warning in local chat so the blueberries know where to flock to. But seriously, your choice in loadout should be fluid throughout the entire game. And not only should your loadout selection be fluid, but so should your tactics. Since Hell Let Loose is such a brutal and unforgiving game, it's not very often that you'll successfully push and capture a strong point in a single attempt. So it's really important to mix up your attack and push from different angles and paths in order to keep the enemy guessing. Unless you have some weird and unhealthy fascination with the redeploy screen, then well, I guess you do you. And along those same lines, if you're in a firefight and you have to duck into cover, try to change up your angles when you pop out to return fire. Popping out from the same spot repeatedly will likely get you killed, as the enemy can anticipate where you're going to pop out and be ready to put a bullet in you. Just a little bit of movement to your left or right before popping up again will displace you enough to keep the enemy guessing. You can also lean out from cover instead of standing upright to be less predictable. Since assault players spend a good amount of time on the attack, you'll likely find yourself in a lot of close quarters combat. To be more effective in these situations, you need to slow down and be ready to react quickly should you bump into the enemy. Use the lean function to carefully clear corners and make sure it's safe before you advance. Try to avoid sprinting, as that split second it takes to stop and raise your weapon to engage the enemy can get you killed. Walking is often a better choice, as your weapon is ready to ADS at any moment. You can also walk around while aiming down your sights if you think you're about to bump into the enemy. Slowing down also reduces the noise of your footsteps, so the enemy is less likely to hear you coming. On the flip side, make sure you're paying attention to what you hear around you. I use audio clues all the time to gain situational awareness. For example, if I'm on the top floor of a house picking off enemies out the window and I hear footsteps in the mud outside, I'll do a quick map check to see if it's one of my teammates. If there isn't a blue or green dot on the map, then I know it's an enemy. And if those muddy footsteps then turn into wooden floor footsteps, then I know the enemy has just entered the house, and you don't ever enter SoulSniper's house without an invite. Pay attention to nearby gunshots as well. If you hear the ping of an M1 Garand clip being ejected, then you know it's an American. If you hear a shot followed by the cycling of a bolt, then you know it's likely a German with the Kar 98. German grenades make a hissing sound that American grenades don't make. And the MG42 has a much higher rate of fire than the M1919 Browning does. These are all auditory clues that can help you better understand your surroundings and increase your combat effectiveness. But remember that killing the enemy will only get you so far. In order to capture a sector, you need to destroy the enemy's spawns. So as you push forward, make sure you look for outposts and garrisons and prioritize eliminating them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, the enemy will just keep coming. I've got an entire other video on how to locate and destroy enemy garrisons, so make sure to give that one a watch as well. Okay, so now I'm going to share a couple of the tricks you can use to help level up the assault role faster. What you want to do is start off the game as an engineer and build a full set of nodes in the first sector. These nodes will earn you 30 XP per minute for the entire duration of the match. And the best part is, the XP will go to whatever role you switch to for the remainder of the game. So build your nodes, then switch to Assault. You'll rack up far more XP this way than if you only play Assault for the entire match. On top of that, keep in mind that your Assault loadout includes a hammer, which you can use to help build and upgrade structures, which gives you additional XP. Another skill that Assault players should definitely learn is how to flank the enemy. So make sure you click on my How to Flank the Enemy video next to learn this vital skill. I'd like to say thank you to all my channel members, and thank you for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up to help more people see it, and remember to subscribe for more great content. And if you'd like to squad up with me sometime, come introduce yourself in my Discord using the link in the description. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one.